Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone who prayed for us as we were traveling, as we were taking the class, praying for our safety and praying for our family's safety. I really appreciate it. And power of prayer works. We all made it back safely. I was wrong, guys. Going into Defensive Elements Anatomy of Structures class, I had a lot of misconceptions and preconceived notions about CQB. I came to this class with zero CQB experience. I'm not military or law enforcement, but surprisingly, the things that I got wrong aligned with folks with LE and military backgrounds in the class as well. Now, with no further ado, let's talk about the 10 things I got wrong about CQB. Number 1, simunitions. I had taken MDFI's Human Element class, which was a simunitions class, and had assumed that what we used in that class would be what we used in this class. I was wrong. These are UTM rounds that have a wax tip both for the handgun rounds and the rifle rounds. They did contain paint, but were much smaller and less like paintballs at the tip of the cartridge like in the previous class I took. These rounds are rimfire rounds. And the nice thing about that is you can have a simunitions bolt carrier group that has a firing pin that is off center, which allows you to fire the rimfire rounds, but doesn't align with the center of the primer of a center fire round, meaning you can't fire real live rounds through this simunitions bolt. The more you know. Number 2, the gear I thought I needed. If you go to the listing for this class, you'll find required gear and recommended gear. Here's what I can tell you based on actually taking the class. If you show up with wraparound iPro, a rifle, preferably 16 inches in length for barrel or with the suppressor, a zeroed optic, a light, a sling, batteries, and an IFAK, maybe an EDC holster for your Glock, you're good. The entire 3 days, I never needed to draw my pistol or even reload my rifle. The pistol is basically a parachute in case your rifle stops working, but you'll get as much out of this class as anyone with that pack list. However, me reviewing and testing gear, I struck a balance between bringing enough gear to test and not too much gear that it would impede my ability to focus on the training. I brought a DM mech belt and pouches, Grim Hunter tactical pistol pouches, the bang hanger, and the Ace-Tac s.o.p chest rig. But didn't end up needing most of it, other than to get more data for you guys on those pieces of kit. Number 3, what CQB was. The definition of CQB I had in my mind was speed, aggression, pieing everything, and fatal funnels. What I learned it actually was shapes, verbal and nonverbal communication with your partner, scanning, positively identifying your target, accurate shots. More on that later. Room reports. If you want to learn more about that or any of the other topics, I highly recommend you take the class. Number 4, speed is good. Not necessarily. Apparently it's not good to do some things fast, like scanning. You definitely don't want to miss something or have to double back to some area that you missed because you were rushing through it. Number 5, a low ready is better higher. No, it's not. I had this habit, especially when making entry. I'd have my low ready so high that I'd almost be able to get right into my sights right away. And I thought for some reason that was going to give me some type of speed advantage. But in reality, all it did was cover up vital pieces of information with my gun that I could otherwise see with an actual low ready. Number 6, I didn't think I'd learn breaching in this class. I don't know why. I just thought that every room that we'd be clearing would already have an open door. Like breaching was a separate class or something. Ready? Sir, put the beer down.
Oh, hey man, I just opened this, dude. I don't want to put it down.
Put it down.
All right,
it's not good for you.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right.
Lady, are you okay?
No, yeah, I'm fine.
Number 7. The way that the door opens doesn't matter. I can now assure you after taking this class, it most certainly does. There are different ways to breach whether you are working with a push door or a pull door. Imagine that. Number 8. Just go, you've got to get in that room. It's perfectly okay to hold if you're unsure of what your job is for a particular shape. Maybe under stress, you just blank. You forget what you're supposed to do for that shape. Maybe you can see from your vantage point that it's actually a different shape than what your partner called out. Either way, if you and your partner are not on the same page in what shape it is or what your jobs are going into that shape, it's not gonna get any better once you start moving. Number 9, what accuracy standards are for CQB? I just assumed that center mass for CQB was good. If you hit him in this general area or in the face, good job. Not quite. Taking the time to make precision shots in the tee box or in that small 3.5 inch area over the thoracic cavity is the only way to make sure that you're making an incapacitating shot. Anything other than that is considered a failure to neutralize. Heck, based on your PID, one of those targets might not even be an option. Body armor. And number 10. At the end of 3 days, you will be good at CQB. Also, no. This is a skill that takes practice and more practice and more practice with regularity to become good at. Training is a journey, not a destination. Was I much better at CQB after this 3-day class? Yeah. Am I now a CQB master after only taking 3 days of training? Absolutely not. Not even close. The good news is that the principles and procedures taught in this class can be applied and practiced wherever you go. Parking structures, malls, stores, around town, heck, even in your own home. You can do dry runs, you can do all sorts of stuff in your house, and it will help you for that next class, which should be with defensive elements. If you do want to know more about CQB and how to become more proficient at it, that's where I recommend you go. That's who I recommend you guys check out, and that is the class I recommend you take, Anatomy of Structures.
Okay, I have closed door, 9 o'clock, dead space, 12 o'clock. Man, what are you doing down there?
You guys.
Get the fuck out of here!
I ain't fucking getting out of nowhere.
A safe training environment, easy to understand principles and procedures, and amazing instructors. I can't thank Tim, Jesse, and the team enough for having me and being such gracious hosts. Be sure to check out their stuff at defensemechanisms.com and use my code YOURFAVE to save on American-made gear. And stay tuned for more gear reviews from Defense Mechanisms and others that were tested in this class. Don't forget to leave your prayer requests in the comment section below. I love praying for you guys. And DM me, see what I did there, on Instagram if you'd like a more private setting to do so in. And as always, thanks for watching, stay free, and God bless. See you guys.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.